International Women's Day. My name is Courtney Whiteside, and I serve as Director of Marketing at Levine Museum of the New South. Thank you for joining us in our annual HERstory Family Day celebration. This year, we are celebrating all month long. Last week, we heard a little about Women's History Month, with its origins dating back to 1978 as Women's History Day in the school district of Sonoma County, California. But did you know that International Women's Day, a global celebration of the economic, political, and social achievements of women, took place for the first time on March 1911? Many countries around the world celebrate the holiday, particularly with demonstrations and educational initiatives. The celebration took a very significant call for international action after the United Nations adopted the Observance on International Women's Day resolution in 1975. The United Nations General Assembly stated that to recognize the fact that securing peace and social progress and the full enjoyment of human rights and fundamental freedoms require the active participation, equality, and development of women, and to acknowledge the contribution of women to the strengthening of international peace and security.
Jaren.
Each year, the United Nations highlights a theme for International Women's Day that also expands into the work highlighted for the entire year. The theme for 2022 is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, recognizing the contribution of women and girls around the world who are leading the charge on climate change, adaptation, mitigation, and response to build a more sustainable future for all. For this year's International Women's Day, UN Women has partnered with the Washington-based Turkish visual artist Burcu Koleli to develop imagery illustrating the 2022 theme. Check out his beautiful work and tag us in any creations of your own, highlighting gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, Alexis. I'm so excited to be here with you. Is now still a good time?
Of course, but you're gonna have to follow me around.
No problem. For folks who don't know, could you give us a quick introduction?
I'm Alexis. I'm a model, musician, and a member of the Lumbee tribe. I live just down that way. We're standing in Lumbee territory.
Could you share a highlight from your music career?
Well, I won a gold ticket on a certain TV show in 2019.
Very cool. And a fun fact?
The Lumbee tribe is the largest unrecognized tribe east of the Mississippi, with over 65,000 members.
And what exactly are we doing here today?
We're here for a photo shoot. I'm partnering with a native designer to launch this new sustainable collection.
Sounds like you're pretty involved with the environmental movement. What are your thoughts about tackling climate change?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. As the climate emergency intensifies, we seem to think we can just engineer our way out of it. You know, mainstream solutions like carbon-neutral cargo ships, electric vehicles, and solar power. But elected officials promote these tools even as they continue to collaborate with extractive industries in the name of supporting the economy.
That sounds pretty insincere.
Exactly. But it's not just that. Climate change is a cultural issue. Modern lifestyles created it. As such, many Native communities believe that solving the climate crisis doesn't just require a shift in technology, it also requires a shift in cultural perspectives.
So what kind of solution are you suggesting?
The land back movement. By returning indigenous lands to indigenous peoples, colonial governments and corporations will no longer have the power to exploit the homelands of Native communities around the world.
Can you tell me more about that?
Before colonialism, indigenous peoples were taking care of our planet with love and respect. Being in good relationship with the natural world is a part of our culture. It's ingrained in our languages, ceremonies, and ancestral knowledge. Oh, hey, Oscar! Indigenous peoples also value the well-being of future generations. For example, seventh generation stewardship is a concept believed to have originated from the Iroquois, and it encourages us to live and work for the benefit of those 140 years into the future. So, let's imagine a world where this land has been reclaimed by its original peoples. The pipelines that devastate our land and poison our water are shut down. We end the construction of all new fossil fuel infrastructure. Not only does this infrastructure perpetuate the climate crisis, but the man camps associated with pipeline construction lead to missing and murdered indigenous women. Violence to our land has a direct correlation to the violence against indigenous women, girls, and our two-spirit relatives. It must stop.
Wow, I had no idea. Go on.
We can restore bison population in the Great Plains, where they play a vital role in maintaining the health of our prairies. We can also preserve other endangered first foods, like salmon, by removing dams from our rivers and planting trees along stream beds to cool the warming waters.
Are any of these efforts already underway?
They are, in addition to many more. Today, over 50 tribes have committed to climate strategies to protect our land, water, and cultures.
Amazing. Now, before we wrap up, any final thoughts?
Yeah, Right now, the solutions presented by our policymakers don't get us anywhere close to solving the climate emergency. It's time to take more immediate action. Native communities already have the knowledge and principles we need to solve the climate crisis. We need to implement Indigenous solutions at a much broader scale. By returning stolen land to Native people and empowering Indigenous leadership, we can ensure a better future for generations to come.
Yo soy la negra Lorenza, negra del tú y negra negra, noche con alma, tambor dormido bajo mi pecho. Tengo un dolor de candelas, corazón rojo por dentro, corazón negro por fuera, corazón sombra del blanco. Si tengo rebelde el pelo, tengo rebelde las manos. Manos trenzadas al viento, mientras lanzo al viento un grito. Yo soy la negra Lorenza, yo soy la negra Lorenza, negra noche, negra alma, negra de pecho desnudo, negra cortadora de caña, como mi abuelo y mi padre, negra esclava de todos. Esclava no soy de nadie, porque soy lo que yo soy. Tengo un dolor de candelas y un palpitar de tambor. Yo soy la negra Lorenza.
nada se le niega, nada se le niega.